You're listening to Solihull Radio.
I got something to say, something to say. Alright. Can you feel me? Yeah. Come on. Can you feel me? In? What you want me? Can you feel me? In? Let's talk about it. I was checking this girl next door when her parents went out. She phone say, hey boy, come on right around. So I knock at the door, he was standing with a bottle of red wine ready to pour, dressed in long black satin, lace to the floor. So I went in and we sat down, started kissing, caressing, told me about jacuzzi, sounded interesting. So we jumped right in, all calls diverted to answer phone. Please leave a message after the tone. I mean, me and her parents were kinda cool, but they were the fine line between me and you. We were just doing things and people in love do. Parents trying to find out what we were up to. Saying, why were you creeping round late last night? But then I see two shadows moving in your bedroom light. Now you're dressed in black, when I left you were dressed in white. Can you feel me? Calls diverted to answer phone. Red wine bottle, half the contents gone. Midnight return, jacuzzi turned on. Can you feel me? Whenever the coast was clear and she'd ask me to come out, I'd say, hey girl, come right around. So she knocked at the door, I was standing with the keys in my hand to the 4x4. Jumped in my ride, chicken and nobody saw. The club we went in, we got down, bound to the rhythm. So it was early morning, thought we better be leaving. So I gave you my jacket for you to hold. Told you to wear it cause you felt cold. I mean, me and her didn't mean to break the rules. I weren't trying to play mom and dad for fools. We were just doing things young people in love do. Parents trying to find out what we were up to. Saying, why can't you keep your promises? No more saying you'll be home by 12, come strolling in at 4. Out with the girls but leaving with the boy next door. Can you feel me? Wearing a jacket whose property. Said you've been queuing for a taxi, but you left all your money on the TV. Can you feel me? Can you feel me? All they seem to do is be checking up on you, baby. Watching your every move, think someday they might approve, baby. Why were you creeping round late last night? But then I see two shadows moving in your bedroom light. Now you're dressed in black, when I left you were dressed in white. Can you feel me? Can you feel me? Diverted to answer phone. Red wine bottle, half the contents gone. Midnight return, jacuzzi turned on. Can you feel me? Can you feel me?
You're listening to Solihull Radio.
Good morning. It is Friday and you are listening to The Breakfast Show. Good morning, Laura.
Morning. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday. Are we ready to get the weekend going?
Oh,
here?
we are.
Oh, we are your weekend starter on The Breakfast Show this morning.
Sorry?
We are the weekend starter.
Oh, we are
aren't
the weekend starter. Sorry, I'm back on food.
It's like the official big red button, isn't it? That's what we are. We're the big red button that starts the weekend. We have a lot coming up for you on the show today. Not one, but two guests in this morning.
Ooh.
Mystery guests. One of them is Victoria Appley, and she is the founder of Millionaire Mamas. Laura, she helps all mums and dads get into business and start a business, and how you create that mindset to do that, especially when you have kids.
Brilliant.
I mean, neither of us are parents, are we?
No.
So whether or not...
It's probably for the best.
Why? I think a tiny little me would be fantastic. What are you implying, Laura?
Nothing at all. Could you just learn to cook first?
No. What I'm going to do is I'm going to train an army to cook for me, basically. That's
You
the
could say
plan.
train the child. I was like...
No, that's who I mean. I'm going to create an army and of my children, and I'm going to train them. One can cook, one can clean. Is this child labour?
One can drive.
One can drive. Why is your 6-year-old driving you around Solihull? I don't know. They're a very good driver. Yeah, well, that's my plan anyway. So what are you doing this weekend, Laura? What is your plan?
I am pretty much back to working this weekend.
You know what
and
she's like.
I've got the big move coming up, so I'm trying to do a little bit of house sorting at a time, because it's a massive job, isn't it? It's a huge job.
I don't think I asked you, how did the house sort go on Sunday?
I mean, we made a start. I was planning to have the whole thing finished in 4 hours, and in 4 hours we'd pretty much done one half of the wardrobe and one chest of drawers, because it takes a lot longer than you anticipate, doesn't it? So on Sunday I thought, right, that's it, I'm going to do it a little bit at a time, whether or not this happens, but I am running out of time, to be honest, so I need to get a bit of a crack on with that.
The time is a ticking. And if you listen to the show on Friday, Laura was saying that was it your friend that likes to hug things and say whether or not you want to release them into the atmosphere?
So we did. We looked at everything. She said, when was the last time you used this? And if I hesitated for more than half a second, she was like, right, it's gone.
Yeah.
It's gone.
That is the person that you need, isn't it? Especially when you're kind of sorting everything out and just, new year, new me and all that, you know. Oh, well. So when is the big move?
I haven't got an exact date, but I have to have exchanged by the very beginning of March.
Ooh.
So it's getting close.
If you would like to help Laura move house, then give us a call, 01217040185.
Anyone with a van, I'd be grateful if they help. Anyone that's got any boxes, throw them my way.
Anyone with lots of children.
Yeah,
You know.
take the children, that's fine.
Small hands do light work. Here is Avicii with Wake Me Up. It's Friday morning on The Breakfast Show.
Feeling my way through the darkness, guided by a beating heart. I can't tell where the journey will end, but I know where to start. They tell me I'm too young to understand. They say I'm caught up in a dream. Well, life will pass me by if I don't open up my eyes, so that's fine by me. So wake me up when it's all over, when I'm wiser and I'm older. All this time I was finding myself and I didn't know I was lost. So wake me up when it's all over, when I'm wiser and I'm older. All this time I was finding myself and I didn't know I was lost. Hope I get the chance to travel the world, but I don't have any plans. Wish that I could stay forever this young, not afraid to close my eyes. Life's a game made for everyone, and love is the prize. So wake me up when it's all over, when I'm wiser and I'm older. All this time I was finding myself, and I didn't know I was lost. So wake me up when it's all over, when I'm wiser and I'm older. All this time I was finding myself, and I didn't know I was lost. 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 I didn't know.
That is Avicii with Wake Me Up. And are you woken up, everyone? Are you woken up? Are you awake and raring to go, Laura?
I am very much so.
Laura usually goes straight to work, don't you? Straight after this.
Yes.
The proper job, as it were.
The real job.
The real job. And so she's always looking very fresh-faced and made up, basically, because she's, got the make on, she's good to go. Whereas me, on the other hand, I look like Gollum, basically. Gollum pulled out of
I mean, that's exactly what I'd have said too, Gollum.
Gollum was the first thing that sprang to mind. Victoria, is Gollum the first thing that springs to mind when you look at me? Is it?
Not quite, no.
Nice to meet you. Victoria, welcome to the show. You are the founder of Millionaire Mamas. Could you tell us a little bit about the business, please? What is it?
So the business is basically, as you said, I like to help parents that want to get into business or potentially are in business but are feeling a bit stuck. And in particular, I focus on mindset. So I have started organising networking events now to get people together and connect with other people that are in the same situation, because for me, having other people around me that got me was absolutely essential. But as part of the business as well, I also offer one-to-one coaching, which is another aspect of the business.
Fantastic. Yeah. You sound like you're not from round here, Victoria. Whereabouts are you, and where does the business cover?
So I currently living in Cheltenham, which is where my networking events originally started, but I am moving over to Solihull now as well. I want to start hosting some events in Solihull.
So we've heard about the what then. So Can you tell us about the why? Why did you start the business?
So I started it, throughout my whole life, I've always sort of wanted to own my own business. That's just where I see myself, and I wanted, when I was working in sort of normal jobs, I didn't like the sort of work ethic. I wanted my own work ethic. I wanted to be in control of everything. So wanted to start my own business.
Control freak, in other words. Yes,
a little bit.
Want to control all.
Yeah.
Okay, and that then made you think, right, I need to go about setting up a business.
Yeah. So I tried a few things, had a baby, and I was like, this is the perfect time to do it. And everyone was telling me,
really?
Like,
Is it?
Yeah, exactly. Everyone's like, no way, can't do it when you're having a baby.
I mean, it wouldn't be the first thing that springs to my mind. Had a baby, let's start a business.
No.
Haven't really got enough to do at the minute.
Yeah. All that free time on my hands,
Yeah. Wow. So then you were inspired to basically help other moms and other families create businesses. And what businesses in general are these people creating?
So, there's all sorts. Originally, I started off service-based. I wanted to help other people that wanted to do what I wanted to do, so to coach other people or to create events, that sort of thing. But now I sort of help anyone.
Help all. Wow. And what's the process then? So how do you help them? You talked about mindset.
Yeah.
What is the mindset you need to start a new business?
So I have my morning rituals that I do every morning, and these are what I tell all my clients or followers to do. So meditate every morning, just be within myself, and just tune into I don't know what the day is going to bring. I read an audiobook or listen to an audiobook every morning.
Every morning? A lot of them are like
morning.
8 hours long.
Oh, yeah, I mean, no, not a whole book. Not a whole book.
No, an inspirational sort of a podcast or something like that.
Yeah, like 30 minutes just to get myself in a bit of a high mindset, and just do that. And then journaling every morning, where I'll just plan out my day, say my affirmations to myself, tell myself I'm amazing, I can do this, Yeah.
Positive vibes.
Yeah,
basically.
Exactly.
Positive vibes.
Yeah.
And so tell us a little bit more about the business then. So it's all about creating a positive mindset.
Yep.
But what are the practical things that you help moms and families with?
So, how my sessions work, I work with people all over the world. So I do them all online over video calls. And it depends what sort of things that they are struggling with. So it might be that they have an idea, they have a vision, but everyone else is telling them like that it maybe isn't feasible. Similar to me, I mean, I obviously wanted to start a business when I just had a baby, and everyone was like, "That's not going to work." So yeah, just to let them know that it is possible, and plan it out and how we're going to get there.
And so how do you do it then, like day to day with a baby? How do you do it?
So I mean, he's 2 now. 2.5.
Yep, that's still a baby, definitely.
Yeah.
So he can sit with me. I mean, while I sit and email and whatnot, he can sit with me. He goes to nursery 2 days a week, which he absolutely loves. Like yesterday, he was asking if he could go to nursery again. I was like, no, it's your day with mummy. You've got to be with me. Sorry. So yeah, those are the 2 days where I book the calls in, and things where I potentially can't do it with him around. But if I'm going to see a venue, like I can take him with me. There's so many things I can do with him. Yeah.
Well, I have a nephew, don't I? I have a nephew. My nephew is 2.5.
The happiest little boy you've ever met in your life, ever.
He is. So he's like a dream, but for me, who doesn't have children, never really experienced anything to do with children, he is not a dream, basically. He's very stressful. I find him very stressful in regards to, I find any children looking after him.
What were we saying about you having children again?
I could have them, but then I need you, Victoria. I need you to tell me all things millionaire mindset. Well, we're going to be talking more about the business just after this. We have had a request in for Ariana Grande. She's trending at the moment on Twitter, apparently, Laura. Her new album has been released.
I think Ariana's always trending for something or other, isn't she?
She is trending for that ponytail. It just keeps getting longer and longer, doesn't it? So here you go, Ariana Grande and Break Free.
If you want it, take it. I should have said it before. Try to hide it, fake it. I can't pretend anymore. I only wanna die alive, never by the hands of a broken heart. Don't
Ariana Grande, and that's featuring Zed, and that is Break Free. This is The Breakfast Show. You're listening to Laura and Nat and Victoria. Welcome, Victoria. So you were telling us about your business, Millionaire Mamas. Can you tell us how you started your business right from the very start? How did it all begin?
So, as I said, when I had a baby, I was like, right, I'm going to make myself some money. And the...
Sorry, before you go into this, can
Yeah.
I just ask, what were you doing before you had your
Yeah, that's a
baby?
good point.
I was a mortgage advisor.
Oh, it was
Yeah.
completely the other
Yeah,
side then.
yeah.
Okay.
Which was a job I sort of fell into, and just developed and yeah. But
So very corporate then, I
yeah,
suppose.
yeah,
you
it
know.
was, yeah. So yeah, I had the baby, and I was like, right, how can I make some money? And started blogging, and basically wanted to teach myself everything about social media, about blogging, so that I could eventually help other people to do it. That I knew that was always my ultimate aim, which is why I started the blog. It was called the Blended Family Movement, and it was all about me having a baby and a stepson. So yeah, that's sort of how it all started. Started to make a bit of money on it, and then was like, right, I can teach other people that want to start blogs. Like I said, it was sort of service based. Wanted to do something online, how to do
And
social
for
media. And
someone that doesn't know, because I actually don't know
Yeah.
how apart from sponsorship, how do you create money from a blog?
you,
I'm taking notes right here.
Yeah.
I'm like behind it, taking some
yeah,
notes.
you can advertise for people so they can, give you products and give you a certain fee for advertising, and having adverts on your blog as well.
So how did you build up? Obviously, for companies to do that, they're going to want you to have quite a substantial follower base.
Yeah.
So how did you build that up from
If it's just
nothing?
me and Laura, I don't think they're sponsoring too much. So yeah, how did
Yeah,
you
I mean-
build it up?
So you engage is something I always tell my clients. If you're on social media, you need to be speaking to your followers, and always have something a little bit unique about you. If you're doing the same thing that 10 other bloggers are doing, there's no reason.
What was your unique thing?
I think it was being really, really honest about step parenting. Not a lot of people talk about it because obviously there's a lot of people outside of the blended family that you don't want to upset, don't want to tread on anyone's toes. So yeah, my thing was that I was really, really honest about being a stepmom.
No.
And how old is it? Your stepson?
Son, he's 5.
Oh,
Yeah.
gosh.
No. So two little boys then.
Yeah, 2 little boys.
2 little boys. So from the blog, you began to get a bit of a following.
Yeah.
You were able to monetize that, which is fantastic, which is great. See the mortgage advisor in you coming through with that one.
Of course, yeah.
And then where did you take it from there? Did you just think, I've got a format that works?
Yeah, and I was like, right, I'm going to create a program where people can work with me one-to-one, who have a vision, idea of something they want to create online, whether it's a blog or whether it's another coaching business. And that was another way I was monetizing my blog, basically, was like, at the end of it, if you want some help creating your own blog, get in touch. And yeah, that was it. So one-on-one coaching.
So what's the process? If I was to come to you, Victoria, and say, right, okay, I want to start my own business. I don't really know what I want to do, but I know that that's what I want to do. I want to run my own business. Where do we go from there?
So on my website, there's an application form which you fill in if you want to work with me. It'll then take you through to my diary, and you book in a 30-minute free session with me where we talk about your goals, where you want to take your business, see if we're a perfect fit. And yeah, take it from there. If you want to book in with me, then I only offer one program. It's 90 days, so you work with me for 3 months, 1 hour a week over a telephone, video phone, online, and yeah, take it from there.
And tell us about the events that you've got coming up, because you do not only do you do stuff online and like with personal one-to-one, but you also do events, don't you?
Yeah.
Tell us about that.
So I originally was going along to networking events, but I was really struggling to get childcare. So my idea was that I wanted one in the evening, which I found quite hard to find. So yeah, my networking events are in the evening for parents that are in business, but I also want to make them available to people that have a vision for a business as well, which again was something I struggled with my networking events, is when I was quite new, feeling quite intimidated turning up to these networking events with people who obviously had really well-established businesses.
And do these do they have to be parents? Is that a stipulation?
No,
or
I mean, so I always say to everyone, obviously, you know, it's like, have you got a kid? No, you're not allowed in. Like, it's not quite like that. If you have maybe a target audience of parents, so especially I had someone who catered for children's parties but didn't have children herself, which it would be the perfect networking event for her. So yeah, as long as it's if you're turning up to this networking event, you want it to be valuable for you. So that's, yeah.
And what's the date of your next networking event?
So the one in Solihull is the 21st of February.
21st of February.
and where's it going to be?
Revs.
Oh,
Rev
okay.
Spa, yeah.
Ah, perfect.
Yeah.
And if our listeners would like to get in touch with you or follow you on social media, what is your link on social media?
So on Instagram, I'm millionaire.mama. And then my website is victoriaappeley.co.uk, and that's where all my events are.
Fantastic.
And do you have to book onto your events, or can you just
Yeah.
turn up? Or...
Yeah, no, you have to book on because there's food and drink. So
Oh,
I get it all
fabulous.
glass of fizz, bottle of beer.
Sounds lovely.
Sounds like our kind of event.
Yeah.
Motivation and a glass of Prosecco. That
Yeah.
sounds lovely. Well, thank you so much for coming in this morning, Victoria. It
you
was
for having me.
great to have you. We are talking all things news in the next half an hour with myself and Laura. But thank you, thank you, Victoria, so much. And yeah, hopefully you'll be able to come back on the show sometime soon.
Yes, definitely. Thank you.
Are you drunk enough now to judge what I'm doing? Are you high enough to excuse that I'm ruined? 'Cause I'm ruined. Is it late enough for you to come and stay over? 'Cause we're free to love, so tease me. I made no promises, I can't do golden rings, but I'll give you everything. Magic is in the air, there ain't no science here, so come get your everything. I made no promises, I can't do golden rings, but I'll give you everything. Magic is in the air, there ain't no science here, so come get your everything. Tonight.
You anything tonight?
Is it loud enough? 'Cause my body is calling for you, calling for you. I need someone to do the things that I do. I'm healing out, energy taking control. I'm speeding up, my heartbeat's dancing along. I made no promises, I can't do golden rings, but I'll give you everything. Magic is in the air, there ain't no science here, so come get your everything. I made no promises, I can't do golden rings, but I'll give you everything. Magic is in the air, there ain't no science here, so come get your everything. Tonight.
You anything tonight?
'Cause I need a green light, day and night, say that you're mine. 'Cause I need your green light, day and night, say that you're mine. Say that you're mine. Say that you're mine. I made no promises, I can't do golden rings, but I'll give you everything. Magic is in the air, there ain't no science here, so come get your everything. I made no promises, I can't do golden rings, but I'll give you everything. Magic is in the air, there ain't no science here, so come get your everything. Tonight.
in your bed again. Oh my God, I'm too close. Oh, but this feeling is so damn good. Guess I'm loving it more than I should. I know I should leave, but when you are next to me, deep asleep, your skin on my skin, can't help the way I feel. Ooh, but you cannot know, there's no place I'd rather be. Honestly, when I hold you close to me, I want you to love me, to love me, to love me, but don't fall in love. Do me, but not for too long. I want you to love me, but don't fall in love. 'Cause I'm not the one to love. Oh my God, here we are. I'm falling deeper into this mess. Yeah, I know I shouldn't get undressed. But we both know this ain't right. It's a little too dangerous. This little thing between us. I know I should leave, but when you are next to me, half asleep, your skin on my skin, can't help the way I feel. Ooh, but you cannot know, there's no place I'd rather be. Honestly, when I hold you close to me, I want you to love me, to love me, to love me, but don't fall in love. Do me, but not for too long. I want you to love me, but don't fall in love. 'Cause I'm not the one to love. I want you to. I want you to. I want you to. I know I should leave, but when you are next to me, half asleep, your skin on my skin. I want you to love me, to love me, to love me, but don't fall in love. Do me, but not for too long. I want you to love me, but don't fall in love. 'Cause I'm not the one to love. I want you to love me, to love me, to love me. I want you to do me, I want you to. I want you to love me, but don't fall in love. 'Cause I'm not the one to love.
BB Rexa with Not the One. If you enjoyed that with Victoria, then yes, please do get in touch. Follow her on Instagram, Twitter. There are so many platforms, isn't there, now to get to know people. Yeah, Instagram, millionaire.mamas on Instagram as well, to see all things that Victoria does. Are you inspired to be a millionaire mama, Laura?
Well, I'd need the kids first.
You need the mama part just before the millionaire part. Well,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I think so. I think, once I'm a mama, I might give her a call.
It is an interesting concept, though, in the way of going, I'm right, I've just done the most stressful thing I think I'm ever going to do in my life, and I'm getting the most tired I'm ever going to be in my life, and now I'm going to start a business.
I think she's crackers, personally.
Victoria, we think you are loopy, absolutely loopy. What are you all doing something interesting this afternoon, aren't you, Laura?
Oh, I am. I don't know if I can say.
Yeah,
I'll
you
let
can.
you know. I'm
we can
driving
call him the Jezza.
the JK.
Laura's going on Jeremy Kyle.
I am. So, well,
She's going
whoa.
on.
Let's rewind that for a minute.
So no, we don't need to rewind or explain. We don't need to rewind or explain anything.
So that's it then.
All you need to know is Laura.
Look out for me in the spring.
Laura White is going on Jeremy Kyle. And you can tell me if this is true, actually. Well, we will explain why Laura is going on Jeremy Kyle. But you can tell me if this is true, that they get the audience in and you have to bring 3 different coloured tops and they just swap you round per episode.
Really?
Yeah.
So they film more than one in one day?
Yeah, I don't know whether that was when it was on a bit of a tighter budget. But I swear somebody told me that they went into the audience, you have to bring
Hair up, hair down.
a moustache. And that's just for the women.
One of those fake comedy ones that you can buy in the joke shop.
Yeah. Why does everybody look like Freddie Mercury? Why are you going on Jeremy Kyle? Are you going to spill your beans and just tell the world everything?
Careful. careful. Am I gonna what? Sorry.
Spill them beans and tell the world everything.
I'm not actually going to be on camera today, but I am driving up to Media City in Manchester. Every now and then, Jeremy Kyle does an episode about inspirational children. So he treats children that have been going through a really hard time for the last 12 months, perhaps haven't been very well, perhaps have had siblings or parents that have been unwell, have been in difficult situations. So the company that I work for, called Young Driver, we offer driving lessons for 5 to 17-year-olds. So we're going up today to meet a little girl called Alice, who has been very unwell. She's 7 years old, and she had, I can't remember the exact name of the condition, but an issue where I believe her brain was being pressurized and crushed by her spine and the way it was growing. So she's had to, I mean, she's fine now. She's on the mend, on the road to recovery. But she's had to have an awful lot of operations for someone so small at 7. I think she's had something like 10 operations in the last 2 years. Oh. So she's mad about cars, mad about driving. So as a treat, we're taking one of our little electronic cars to the studio for her to have a driving lesson. And then Jeremy's going to get in and she's going to drive him round the studio as well. So I'm really looking forward to it. It should be a nice afternoon.
Oh, and I'm sure Alice will be so happy about it.
I get to meet the JK, which, really, Did
you ever listen to
Late and Live?
I used to listen to that all the
time.
time.
Secretly in bed, because we kind of been very old, if I remember. It was quite a while ago that it was on the airwaves, wasn't it?
Well, I remember actually where I used to listen to it. I used to listen to it in my bunk bed.
Yeah,
so
and
that's
me.
How old?
And me. On a Walkman, I think. We didn't
Yes.
have phones that we listened to the radio on, did we?
No, I had a CD player thing.
That had the radio on.
It was about the size of my house, basically. I think I could climb in and live in it. It was that big.
I mean, you were advanced. I think mine was a cassette player.
But to be honest, thinking back to it, if we were, I don't know, we must have been 11 or 12 or something, I think. Do you think?
Yeah, we can't have been very
quite
old.
young to be listening to Jezza Kyle, isn't it?
But I mean, Jez has had quite a colourful past himself. I mean, we probably shouldn't go into it on air just in case we get sued for, defamation of character. But I'm sure it's all over the internet if you want to have a look. But quite a colourful past. And it does make me laugh. I think, oh, look at you preaching.
You're going to meet him in about 2 hours.
I know. I take it back.
Yeah.
Love you, Jez.
Yeah. And does anybody want proof that Laura walked into the studio and went straight up to him and went, oh, look at you preaching. Yeah. Nice to meet you, Jeremy. Yeah. I think you're preachy. If anything, preachy. But yeah, late and live. I used to love that show. Absolutely loved it. And then, there's old Jezza from Birmingham, you see. Birmingham creates stars. That's officially what it does.
Is that official?
Yes. Like Jeremy Kyle. He went to the US, didn't he? He had an American show.
Did he?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I think the Jeremy Kyle show's quite big in the US. Yeah.
Ooh,
they love him being British and sassy, basically. That's what they love.
Sassy.
So if you want to talk about Jeremy Kyle, then give us a text, 075 64 30 3064. Laura's only in for the next 10 minutes, guys. We only got her for the next 10 minutes. But we have lots coming up on the show as well. We have David. David's an interesting one. He's a brand new guest to the show. And he's an actor. He's also a life coach as well. And also he mentors people in prisons.
Oh,
so it was a bit
interesting. I'm sad I'm going to miss this one.
It was a bit interesting when I rang him for the pre-show phone call, and he said, "Oh, I'm just on my way out of prison." And I was like,
really?
David, what time are you coming into the show? So that will be David at 8 a.m. this morning. And we also have Faye Murray as well, our resident relationship coach. Oh, it's all going on this morning on The Breakfast Show.
I like diamonds, I like stunning, I like shining, I like $1 million deals. Where's my pen? I'm signing. I like those Balenciagas, the ones that look like socks. I like going to the jeweler, I put rocks all in my watch. I like texts from my exes when they want a second chance. I like proving wrong, I do what they say I can't. They call me Cardi, banging body, spicy mommy, hot tamale, hotter than a Somali. Virgo, Ferrari. Hop up the stoop, jump in the coop. Big dip on top of the roof. Flexing them as hard as I can. Eating halal, driving a lamb. So that bitch, I'm sorry though. Got my coins like Mario. Yeah, they call me Cardi B. I run this shit like cardio. I'm in district in the chain. Certified, you know I'm gang, 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 gang. Drop the top and blow the brand. Oh, he's so handsome, what's his name? I need the dollars. Beat it up like piñata. Tell the job to close the curtains. That chick make you nervous.
Chambean, chambean, pero no jalan. Tú compras todas las Jolambo, a mí me las regalan. I spend in the club, what you have in the bank. This is the new religion bank, el Latino gang. Yeah, está toda servieta, pero es que en el closet tengo mucha grasa. Ya mudé la Gucci pa' dentro de casa, yeah. A ti no te conocen ni en plaza. El diablo me llama, pero Jesucristo me abraza. Guerrero como Eddie, que viva la raza, yeah. Me gustan boricua, me gustan cubana. Me gusta el acento de la colombiana. Como me ve el culo la dominicana. Lo rico que me chinga la venezolana. Andamos activos, perico, pim, pim. Billetes de 100 en el maletín. Que retumbe el bajo y Valentín, yeah. Aquí prohibido amar, dile charitín. Que per pico le tengo claritín. Yo llego a la disco y se forma el motín.
I'm in district in the chain. Certified, you know I'm gang, 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 gang. Drop the top and blow the brand. Oh, he's so handsome, what's his name? I need the dollars. Beat it up like piñata. Tell the job to close the curtains. That chick make you nervous.
Como Celia Cruz tengo el azúcar. Tú que va medio y se fue de pecho como Ginny Luca. Te vamos a tumbar la peluca y arranca pa'l carajo. Que a ti no te va a pasar la boca. Mi tele y Valenciaga me reciben en la entrada. Para, sí, like I'm Lady Gaga. Y no te me hagas, que en cover de Billboard tú has visto mi cara. No salgo de tu mente, donde quiera que viajes, he escuchado mi gente. Ya no soy high, soy como el Testarossa. Soy el que se la vive y también el que la goza. Cosa es la cosa, mami es la cosa. El que mira sufre y el que toca goza. I said I like it like that.
I said I like it like that.
I said I like it like that.
I said I like it like that. I'm in district in the chain. Certified, you know I'm gang. Drop the top and blow the brand. Oh, he's so handsome, what's his name?
The time is 7:53. Oh, I feel like I'm on my holidays.
I like it like
I
that.
like it like that. That was Cardi B with I Like It Like That. You're listening to Solihull Radio. We are going through the newspapers, and apparently there is a man suing his parents for what? What's he suing his parents for?
This just sums up today's culture, really, doesn't it? He is suing his parents for giving birth to him without his consent.
Well, I agree with him. That's terrible. What terrible parents you must have. Without his consent. Come on. How can you consent when you're unavailable to do so?
So Raphael is 27. He's from Mumbai. He believes it is wrong to put an unwilling child through the rigmarole of life for the pleasure of its parents, and has compared having children to kidnapping and slavery. Well, that'll be your kids when you're making them cook and clean and drive you around.
Yeah. Raphael, you have looked into the future of my children. I agree with you, Raphael, to be honest. Don't grow up, kids. It's a trap, basically. Don't grow up. Oh, how ridiculous. How utterly ridiculous.
I love my parents and we have a great relationship. I wouldn't have thought so when you're suing them, but they had me for their joy and their pleasure. My life has been amazing, but I don't see why I should put another life through the rigmarole of school and finding a career especially when they didn't ask to exist.
God.
So it's not the most ridiculous thing you've ever heard in your life.
Raphael to me sounds a little bit spoilt. Do you not think? Are you spoilt, Raphael? Talking about people having kids, Naomi Campbell and who's going out today?
And a child.
Yes.
No.
Well, pretty much.
Yeah. Liam Payne.
Liam Payne.
And Naomi Campbell. I mean, who ever saw that one coming?
They would be pretty good odds, wouldn't they, if you bet on those two?
I mean, the Cheryl Cole, Tweedy, Fernandez, Vicini, whatever her name is.
Very good. I think that's exactly her name. Well done.
She was a shock as it was. I mean, there's probably 10 years, is there, between them?
When it takes you 10 minutes to say your partner's name, you shouldn't be with them, basically. Yeah, I think Cheryl's 36 or something,
Yeah.
35, 36.
So there's 10, 11 years there.
Yeah, and he's 25, isn't he?
25.
Yes, that's exactly it, isn't it? It's 10 years. Because
So-
she was 26 and he was 16 on
that's
the
right.
X Factor.
Yeah. So Naomi Campbell is 48, right? So there's 23 years between them.
Wow.
She could definitely be his mother. Well...
Well,
Yeah.
yeah,
She
she could very
Yeah.
easily, very easily.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but to be fair, she does look good.
Oh, she looks amazing.
She looks
and apparently, I don't know if I can say this, I heard, quoted,
Oh, dear.
that they've been having mind-blowing...
Sorry, mind blowing.
Yeah.
I do.
A bit of that, you know.
Oh, dear.
Mind-blowing. I don't need to know that. Ugh.
We don't need to know at 7:56 in the morning, especially not the doo-doo. Anyway, yeah, well, and there's who else as well? Kate Beckinsale. Kate Beckinsale has been going out with, I can't remember his name. What is his name? Oh, that's it, Pete Davidson.
Isn't that... whose ex is that? That's
Ariana Grande.
Ariana's ex, isn't it?
It is indeed. I mean, again, congratulations, Pete. She's a beautiful looking woman. She's 45 and he is 25 as well.
It's another 20 years.
Yeah.
Maybe that's where I'm going wrong. Well, I don't want anyone 20 years younger because that would be weird.
That would be
But-
not okay.
But maybe what I need is a toy boy.
Yes, perhaps. But how toy are we talking?
Wow.
What is too toy for you?
I mean, too toy for me. Maybe 24, 25 might be all right.
Oh, well. But I think with someone like Liam Payne, doesn't it feel like he's been around so much longer than that?
And he has a child,
And
and he was part of the biggest boy band, and he's solo, and you just think, how have you done all that?
He's
and
done a lot.
you're a baby, really.
He has done a lot in 25 years of life, hasn't he?
Yeah. Hasn't he just?
Hasn't
I think
it?
we're finding out more and more every day, aren't we?
Exactly. But well, if you agree with the age gap, if you're in an age gap relationship, get in touch. 0121 7040 185. The time is 7:57. Well, the time is 7:58. So that means you're going to have to skedaddle, doesn't
I
it?
am off to Manchester, but I will see you Monday.
She's cheating on us with Jeremy Carlin. I never thought I'd say that. I never thought those words would come out my mouth. See you Monday, Laura.
Have a lovely
I've been
weekend.
talking to your answer phone, Something tell me you don't want to know, When I call you, you don't answer phone, You don't love me, you should let me know,
Yeah, bunks and rums.
I got a feeling I'm overthinking my thinking, you're thinking I'm leaving. We're real talking. I need some honesty, you better speak up. Days and nights I lie beside my phone. When you gonna let me know? When you gonna let me know? All I hear is please leave your message after the tone. When you gonna let me know? I've been talking to your answer phone now. Something tell me you don't want to know, When I call you, you don't answer phone, You don't love me, you should let me know, Let me know, Man down. Said it was nothing, but nothing is all that we have now. And now I found out that you got a problem you don't want to talk about. Days and nights I lie beside my phone. When you gonna let me know? When you gonna let me know? All I hear is please leave your
Oh, na na. Now excuse me if I sound rude, but I love the way that you move, and I see me all over you now. Baby, when I look in your eyes, there's no way that I can disguise all these crazy thoughts in my mind now. Just something about you. You got the lock, I got the key. You know the rest, you know just where I wanna be. Don't ever stop controlling me. I kinda like it when you bring me to my knees. You got me wrapped up around your finger. I do anything for your love now. And when you touch it, the feeling lingers. Takes me up so high I can't come down. You got me wrapped up, man. I don't ever wanna give up. All this spell you got me under. I see fireworks when we touch now. There's something about you. Your body fits on mine like a glove. Let them say whatever they want. It's too late 'cause you're in my blood now. There's something about you. You got the lock, I got the key. You know the rest, you know just where I wanna be. Don't ever stop controlling me. I kinda like it when you bring me to my knees. You got me wrapped up around your finger. I do anything for your love now. And when you touch it, the feeling lingers. Takes me up so high I can't come down. Girl, you got me wrapped up, oh. You got me so wrapped up, oh. 'Cause there's something about you, wrapped up, oh. You got me so wrapped up, oh. 'Cause there's something about you.
Let's go. My princess so intelligent, make me wanna reapply to school for the hell of it. I'll be the student, you be the teacher. Miss Sophisticated, such a pleasure to meet you. Yeah, but here's the only issue. Since we met, you gotta turn my world upside down. And I don't really mind Spider-Man kissing you as long as you're planning on sticking around. The happiest boy in the world, the world goes to me. Not a chance, nobody came close to him. I kinda knew you was troublesome. You got me wrapped around your finger like bubblegum. Everything you do,
Every way that you move, there's just something about you. There's just something about you. Everything that you do, every way that you move, there's just something about you. Girl, you got me wrapped up around your finger. I do anything for your love now. And when you touch it, the feeling lingers. Takes me up so high I can't come down. You got me wrapped up, oh. You got me so wrapped up, oh. 'Cause there's something about you, wrapped up, oh. You got me so wrapped up, oh.
you got me wrapped up,
There's
baby.
something about you.
You are listening to Solihull Radio and The Breakfast Show this morning. The time is 4 minutes past 8 and you are listening to Nat. As Laura has deserted me, and if you are listening back to this, Laura, because remember you can listen live and on demand, she's going to the Jeremy Cole Show. She's going to be a star on the Jeremy Cole Show. If you were listening, that is not true. She's working for Young Driver today, and yeah, they're doing a lovely charity thing for a little girl called Alice. And Alice, I hope you enjoy your day. As I mentioned, we have loads of guests on this morning. Coming up next is David. David is a life coach, an actor, and he also mentors people in prison. So a very, very interesting one coming up for you in 5 minutes time. And then just after that, we have our resident expert, our relationship expert, Faye Murray, live on the show.
Havana, ooh, na, na. Half of my heart is in Havana, ooh, na, na. He took me back to East Atlanta, na, na, na. Half of my heart is in Havana. There's something about his manners. Havana, ooh, na. He didn't walk up with that, how you doing? Havana, ooh, na, na. Half of my heart is in Havana, ooh, na, na. He took me back to East Atlanta, na, na, na. Oh, but my heart is in Havana. My heart is in Havana, Havana, ooh, na, na.
Jeffrey just graduated fresh on campus. Fresh out East Atlanta with no mountains. Damn, fresh out East Atlanta. Up on board like a traffic jam. Man, I was quick to pay that girl like Uncle Sam. He go, hey, take it on me. Hey, shout the craving on me, get the beating on me, on me. She waited on me, yeah, well, shout the caking on me, got the bacon on me. This is history and I'm making on me. Point blank, close range, that feed. If it goes a million, that's me. I was getting moolah, baby.
Havana, ooh, na, na. Half of my heart is in Havana, ooh, na, na. He took me back to East Atlanta, na, na, na. Oh, but my heart is in Havana. My heart is in Havana, Havana, ooh, na, na. Take me back, back, back. 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 Havana, ooh, na, na. Half of my heart is in Havana, ooh, na, na. He took me back to East Atlanta, na, na, na. Oh, but my heart is in Havana. My heart is in Havana, Havana, ooh, na, na. Havana, ooh, na, na.
We have so many guests for you on the breakfast show this morning. Just guest. And my next guest is David Andrew. Welcome, David.
Thank you.
Welcome to Solihull Radio. We love to have you here. You're a very interesting person, David. Very, very interesting. So give me a summary of your background, an example of, the work that you've done and your skills that you have.
Well, basically, I'm from Bombay, India, and I've lived here for about 32 years.
And I've never been to India, but I already love the culture because David has told me that
meeting without eating is cheating.
Meeting without eating is cheating. So bless him, he's bought us both biscuits and chocolate. So any of the Solihull Radio other presenters that are listening, I'm taking them home with me and I'm not sharing them, basically.
Natalie, it is for you, actually.
Bless you, thank you. So tell us a little bit about your background.
Right. I've just retired about a year ago, working for Birmingham City Council for just over 20 years and 7 years in civil service. So 27 years of service, and I decided to retire early because I thought I have a lot to offer to the world than just clocking in and clocking out every day. And my background is mostly in business, commissioning and advertising and marketing. And so I bring a lot of skills with me into the job that I'm doing right now, which is coaching and mentoring, and as a keynote speaker too. So I have a lot of experience in business environment, and I love what I do, and I think I've got about 10-15 years to actually officially retire from my job, but I thought I'm going to commit myself just working and doing things like helping people, yes.
Fab. And you said that you retired from the Birmingham City Council.
I have,
Tell
yes.
us a little bit about your time with them.
My time with them has been historic, I should say. The last 7 years were the best years of my life working with them because I kind of changed the dynamics of my working place. You know, working in a corporate environment can be quite, everybody's like rushing around, driven meetings. And one day I just thought, is this life is all about.
The culture of being busy is true, isn't it?
Yes, and funnily enough, Natalie, I actually don't use that word in my vocabulary at all, ever. I've not used it for last 6-7 years. I don't use the word busy. I've replaced it with being productive. So I do work. I'm not sitting idle, but when I'm working, I'm productive. I'm not just busy.
Not just busy for being busy sake.
Yes.
And why mentoring and coaching then? Why did that call to you, or you call to it?
That's very interesting. I think I just kind of fell into it unknowingly because part of my nature was just to help people. And the way I was helping people over the last 5-6 years, mostly students, university students from China, and I just started to help people out of my own experience of helping them to get over a hurdle if they were stuck somewhere. And perhaps I was doing it in such a way that others recognized that I had the skills to actually coach and mentor. And they said, David, why don't you just become a coach and a mentor? I said,
You're doing it for free, so why don't you?
I was doing it for free for a very long time, but I have stopped doing it for free. I have free discovery sessions though, yeah.
Yeah, brilliant. And what is the difference between, you hear the words coaching and mentoring, but
Yes.
what are the difference between the two?
Well, I use those words loosely, but there is a clear definition between mentoring somebody. Mentoring is somebody, basically, I come along with a person who's experienced in that particular field and somebody else wants to learn, and I come along and I help them and I support them in a way where they feel empowered to do things for themselves. Coaching is actually very focused on achieving goals within a specific period of time, and
Because I think we're all great at that, aren't we? We're all great at setting dreams, like New Year's resolutions. This year I'm going to do this, that and the rest. But actually practically doing it, I think there's a saying from Tony Robbins that says people overestimate what they can do in a year and underestimate what they can do in a day.
correct.
And it's because to get that year goal, you have to be doing it.
Right. So I don't if the New Year's resolution is another cliche that I've sort of heard it, and even I was part of the same way of thinking. But what I said is like, don't set a resolution. Say, you know what, I'm just going to make a quality decision of what I want to do. It's a quality decision. When you start using words like resolution, everybody uses a word, and it kind of has a meaning and a purpose, but not everybody can actually fulfill it, as you said. So I said, I'm just making a quality decision, for example, to, I don't know, I don't have to lose weight. Say, for example, lose weight. Okay. Set out yourself. How are you going to do it? Don't say, I'm soon going to start going to the gym. I'm going to start eating less chocolates and cakes. Look what I brought in today.
I know.
You
You're sabotaging me, David.
Exactly.
You're sabotaging.
So it is not punishing yourself. It's setting a goal that you really want to achieve. So you don't say, I'm going to punish myself, because when you start punishing yourself, you feel bad about it.
Yeah.
And you give up. So I would say, make a quality decision.
Already good advice, you see, already good advice.
Thank
and
you.
you're giving it us for free. So we all know about the coaching industry because it's massive in the US, isn't it? It's huge in the US
yes.
and other countries, and it's just coming over here. But how big is the industry?
There are some statistics that people can look up, but I looked up about a month ago on statistics of how many registered coaches are there in the world. Apparently, there are about 58,000 registered coaches in the world. That's with Coaching Federation, of course, that they have a record, but we do not know really. What I do know that America, ranks the highest, and then Europe, and then, of course, Asian countries, which is very new concept for them, because the word coaches, immediately people associate with sports coaches.
Yes. Well, it is a similar thing in a way.
It's a similar thing, but coaching actually is not giving somebody instructions, it's actually empowering them to find answers for themselves. Yes, that's what it is.
And for people that have never heard of coaching before, they've never heard of anything to do with it, what do you do with clients? What is it specifically that you do with them, and how do you help them?
Right. Say, for example, if a client comes to me and say, you know what, I am an expert in, say, health, wealth, and relationships, because that kind of underpins our existence. If you think deeply enough about it, it's no matter what you say, it will link to your health, physical, emotional, mental, spiritual health. It'll link to money, one way or the other, or it'll link to a relationship of some kind with your family, with your spouse, with your children, neighbors, employees, dogs, pets, whoever, it is relationship. So when I coach somebody, I try to say, what do you want to get out of this coaching session? It is for you. I'm here to serve you. It's going to be your effort, my support. You drive, I guide.
You're the co-driver.
You are you choose the destination. So I basically guide the person in a coaching session, in a journey where they discover that they do have the answers. They actually never looked into it. My job is to probe into those things and say, you know what? Let's look at this. So what I have the skills of is questioning, actually. Yeah.
Great, fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, we are talking to David some more after this. Ollie Mers, here we go.
Now excuse me if I sound rude, but I love the way that you move, and I see me all over you now. Baby, when I look in your eyes, there's no way that I can disguise all these crazy thoughts in my mind now.
Something about you.
You got the lock, I got the key. You know the rest, you know just where I wanna be. Don't ever stop controlling me. I kinda like it when you bring me to my knees. You got me wrapped up around your fingers. I do anything for your love now. And when you touch it, the feeling lingers. Takes me up so high I can't calm down.
You got me wrapped up, baby.
I don't ever wanna give up. All this spell you got me under. I see fireworks when we touch now.
There's something about you.
Your body fits on mine like a glove. Let them say whatever they want. It's too late 'cause you're in my blood now.
There's something about you.
You got the lock, I got the key. You know the rest, you know just where I wanna be. Don't ever stop controlling me. I kinda like it when you bring me to my knees. You got me wrapped up around your fingers. I do anything for your love now. And when you touch it, the feeling lingers. Takes me up so high I can't come down. You got me wrapped up, oh. You got me so wrapped up, oh. 'Cause there's something about you. You wrapped up, oh. You got me so wrapped up, oh. 'Cause there's something about you.
Let's go. My princess so intelligent, make me want to reapply to school for the hell of it. I'll be the student, you be the teacher. Miss Sophisticated, such a pleasure to meet you. Yeah, but here's the only issue. Since we met, you gotta turn my world upside down. Now I don't really mind Spider-Man kissing you as long as you're planning on sticking around. The happiest boy in the world, the world goes to me. Not a chance, nobody came close to him. I kinda knew you was troublesome. You got me wrapped around your finger like bubblegum. Everything you do.
Every way that you move, there's just something about you. There's just something about you. Everything that you do, every way that you move, there's just something about you. Girl, you got me wrapped up around your fingers. I do anything for your love now. You touch it, the feeling lingers. Takes me up so high I can't come down. You got me wrapped up, oh. You got me so wrapped up, oh.
You're listening to Solihull Radio.
Ooh, Ollie Mers just left us then. He just left us. We are back with David. David, so tell us a little bit about the people that you work with. What kind of people sign up to coaching? Is it corporate people? Is it people starting businesses? Who is it that tends to?
It's a great question because I've been in business only for the last, say, about 8-10 months, really, in a business format. So most of my clients in the past were all university graduates. I work with some business people. I haven't signed up anybody corporate yet because corporate people have a different criteria of employing people to work with them. But small businesses or medium-sized businesses, who have got a workforce of, say, more than 25 people, that'll be a good place for me to actually work. But I haven't actually worked with them as yet because I'm still sort of new into this business. Not a lot of people know me.
And when I was introducing you before you came in,
Yes.
I mentioned that when we spoke on the phone, you were just saying you were on your way to prison. That obviously made me concerned that you weren't going to come into the show. But
No, I
explain
was-
yourself, David.
Yeah,
Why were you going to prison, and what did you do?
I do go there every month, and I get locked up for 2 hours, and you can't take anything with you.
Tell us about it. So you coach people that are in
I
prison.
mentor
You
people
mentor
in the prison. Some in the young offender and in Featherstone, which is an adult prison. So I work in both prisons. And the reason I work there because I believe that those people are no different to who I am. I could have been sitting there myself if I had to do something against the law, and perhaps they would have been mentoring me, you know. So, and I thought I need to break down that barrier for a starter. Secondly, I feel like if they are there just to serve the time and come out, then go back and do the same thing, what has changed?
What's the point?
The prison actually hasn't done an awful lot for them. So I said, they hire people like me to come in there. You know what? Speak to these guys. See what you can bring to them. And I break the barriers of any differences. It doesn't matter whether you are a multi-billionaire or you're a guy who polishes my shoe back in Bombay. To me, you are exactly the same human being. Your position in life doesn't separate you, and the respect that you deserve is exactly the same. So I am that kind of person who gives that level of respect to irrespective of who you are. So with the prisoners, I said, you know what, listen, mate, you know, you are here to do some business. Do you really want to break this cycle? Or do you want to keep on coming back? And so far, I worked, and it's been working so great. That's why I really, really love to go there, because I built a relationship with these people. And even my own sort of unspoken prejudices that I had, they have come down because I took that step.
And you've got a face that you think of when you think of prisoners and people that have...
Yeah, we all think, you know, some people, they're the scum of the earth, but they are not. They have been nurtured in a way that they just chose that path and did not know how to come out of it because something was pulling them.
Yeah.
And then we have a greater power out here. Well, at least I believe I have one.
But you're telling us about how your work has helped people. But what would you say to somebody who is skeptical of your work and what you do?
Well, you know, I think skepticism is really, really a good way to look at things, because I would say if somebody said to me, you know what, David, join my club and you can earn 7 figures, you know, in 6 months' time.
I'd say, hell yeah.
I would say, you know what, I'd love to, but what if I never wanted to earn 7 figures?
True.
What else are you offering? And the thing is that you have to understand the reality of actually earning 7 figures. So when people say, you know what, there's skepticism around coaching, because there are lots of coaches who promise the world. And
Do you promise anything? Do you promise any results?
I do promise results, but that promise is from me to you, that I will not let you down. I will continue to work with you till you say, I don't want you anymore. That's the promise, right? I will never say to you, I am busy, I don't have time, or sorry, I forgot to call you. No, you will have me there when you need me, because I work on a 24-hour clock. I never run out of time. So if I never run out of time, how can I not serve you?
Yes, exactly. And can you tell us about your clients? Have you got any success stories that you like to shout about?
Success stories work both ways. Works for me and for my clients. All the testimonials that people can actually view, those are the clients, they were in China. Actually, I went to visit them too. So I do go and visit my clients when they're abroad. So yeah, the success stories that their lives have changed. The first thing they would think that they had fear of some kind. Fear of self-image, low self-esteem. I'm not good enough. That fear is broken down. And when that fear breaks down, a lot of things begin to happen. So my job is to work from ground upwards. Deal with the root cause first. The symptoms will seem to disappear.
And then figure out the rest.
Yes, because they are adults.
Yes.
That's the whole point. You want to be responsible adults. That's what I coach on, yeah.
Ah, perfect. Well, David, you're more than welcome in the studio. We also have Faye in the studio this morning. Hello, Faye.
Good morning.
Good morning. We will be talking with Faye and David a little more after Charlie XCX.
We're staying all night. We never slow down. I think we better do it like we're doing it now. It's been a long time since we've been around. So come on, let's get doing it like we're doing it. Doing it like we're doing it. Waited so long just to be here. And now we're bringing this back to life. Yeah, we're bringing this back to life. Want you to know how I miss you. Now I got you right by my side. Yeah, I got you right by my side. Like the summer rains, you're in my blood, in my blood. And we united forevermore. We're staying all night. We never slow down. I think we better do it like we're doing it now. It's been a long time since we've been around. So come on, let's keep doing it like we're doing it. Do it like we're doing it now. Keep doing it like we're doing it. Do it like we're doing it. Friends like a team in a circle. We're together, we're so alive. Yeah, together we're so alive. Joy like a jewel, let it sparkle. You know that I got your back for life. Yeah, I got your back for life. Like the summer rains, you're in my blood, in my blood. Oh, and we united forevermore. We're staying all night. We never slow down. I think we better do it like we're doing it now. It's been a long time since we've been around. So come on, let's get doing it like we're doing it. Do it like we're doing it now. Keep doing it like we're doing it. Doing it like we're doing it now. Keep doing it like we're doing it. Doing it like we're doing it. All night long, we dancing to this song. We doing it, we going on and on and on. All night long, we dancing to this song. We doing it, we going on and on. We're staying all night, we never slow down. I think we better do it like we're doing it now. It's been a long time since we've been around. So come on, let's keep doing it like we're doing it. Doing it like we're doing it now. We dancing to this song. Let's keep doing it like we're doing it. Doing it like we're doing it now. We dancing to this song. Let's keep doing it like we're doing it. Doing it like we're staying all night. We never slow down. I think we better do it like we're doing it now. It's been a long time since we've been around. So come on, let's get doing it like we're doing it. Doing it like we're doing it now.
We have not one but two coaches in. I'm very fortunate. I'm never going to have any problems in life, am I? With all these people giving this wealth of knowledge.
Sorted now.
Oh, I'm sorted with everything. I've got a relationship advisor. I've got a mentor. I've got everything.
You've got Lisa, the business consultant.
Lisa, the business
in our circle
consultant.
now.
Exactly. What do I need? I just need someone who can cook.
I'm a cook.
Oh, David, that is
Cooking is
it.
one of my passions.
That's it. What, can we just live together? Can we just buy a house, everyone just shack up? That'd be great.
I'm not joining the running club with you.
I'm sorry to the Noel and Dorridge Run Club because I haven't been for like a week and a half. See, I promise I've been so busy, but I'm going tonight. So I promise I'm not putting it off. I am going tonight. But back to you anyway, David. And Faye's going to join in with the chat as well. So what is your niche and what is your expertise? Where do you focus on?
The word niche, I was struggling with it for a long time when I started. People say, what is your niche? What is your niche? And I had to look it up in the dictionary. I said, is one thing that you do really, really good, and that people will sort of, you can talk about every day. Well, I talk about actually helping men and women, for example, who are facing midlife crisis.
Ah, yes, because we have a few notes exchanged, and David popped down. One of the words on it was midlife crisis, and that kind of made me interested. What are your thoughts on a midlife crisis? Do you think it exists?
I think it's...
Did you have one?
I did. I was having it since the age of 15. So there isn't a specific age that people have midlife crisis, Today I'm knocking at the door of 60 very soon.
Look very good.
Yeah, thank you.
What moisturizer are you using?
Well, that's a secret, which I can impart in my coaching sessions. But to staying healthy, of course, physically healthy. But my niche is to actually work with people who are facing these challenges, which is labeled as midlife crisis and stigmatized, and we associate with sports car and younger women and God knows what, all sorts of things, which, to be honest, I've had all those things done to me.
Have you?
So I walked the path. I've got the scars. The pain is gone, but it's a reminder what not to do again. And often...
So you're telling me not to do the sports cars and younger women?
No, have it all.
Do it.
Have it all. But ask why.
Yes. Yes, have it all, but not to fill a void, perhaps.
Correct.
As an enhancement,
Correct.
rather than not to fill a void.
Yeah.
What do you think, Faye, about midlife crises? Midlife crisis? What is the plural for that?
I don't
Are you
know, to
planning on
be
having
honest.
a few?
Yeah, apparently I am. So what does it exist in your opinion?
I think they can come at any time, crisis. I read a great little, I love my Tony Robbins. And he put a little quote thing on this morning. I'm sure it wasn't him; it was probably his PA that put it on Instagram, saying the only people that don't have problems are in the cemetery.
Oh.
So I think when we would think of it that respect, but it's how much attention we give to our problems, rather than getting sucked into them and sitting in them. It's just addressing what is this really about. And my famous little saying that I love from A Course in Miracles: what's upsetting me isn't really what's upsetting me. It's usually we're looking at the outer things in life that are causing stress to us, but usually it's just something within us, really. It's how our boundaries, or we're seeing things in a certain perspective. So me personally, my crisis probably come after heartbreak, but also from that crisis came the best time in my life. So
That's something similar in both of you, because David,
Yeah.
you were just explaining you had a difficult situation
Right.
that you've now created something out of. If you didn't have that situation, I don't know whether you'd like to say it, but if you didn't have that difficult situation,
I think you're right. If the situation that I got into was before I was kind of involving everybody as a blame thing, they played a part, and people did play a part. But I had forgotten that I was an adult making decisions all the way. So
it wasn't happening to you that you were
wasn't
perhaps
happening.
creating.
It was just being created, and I had no... Looking back, I would say I should have been a bit more responsible. But then again, I'm not a brain expert, but I do understand today that my brain was taken up with something that I could not detach myself. And I lost my sight, my vision where I was going. And till the point where it's like sliding down a greased pole or, and you can't stop. You're just going there until you hit a rock bottom, and basically you do hit a flat ground somewhere. And I had a choice to stay there. I had pictured myself with a, big plastic 3-liter bottle of white diamond cider, or sitting in that park bench somewhere. And almost wanted to sort of do that, because you want to just give up on life. You have lost everything, your house, your family, blah, everything else.
I can't imagine you sitting on a park bench with white cider.
Today I couldn't imagine, but
Yes.
I see a lot of these guys, and I've seen men's life to the point of even harming themselves. And I did that to the point of even ending your life. I attempted that. I even failed at that. So I thought I was proper failure, right? So basically, it's all about when you lose your senses, you do not know how much you're going to lose. And in your weakness, something more will happen, and then there's nobody to help you. One depressed person speaking to another depressed person doesn't work, right? You need somebody to strengthen you. And I have that journey and I have that experience, which I can empathize with somebody facing that challenge today. And they say, you know what, talk about it. Don't be a macho guy or a macho woman to say, you know what, hey, I'm fine. Give me a bottle of wine and I'll be fine. Let's go out and have a party. But when you cry alone. But when you're laughing, you laugh with lots of people.
Very true. Very, very in depth. What do you think? What do you think, Fame? Do you think good things come from a base of the only way's up?
Yeah, if you allow them to be, if you allow your rock bottom, I think everyone at some stage, if they allow themselves to have that certain stage, I think I've spoke about it before, where we have kind of our rock bottom, what I call rock bottom, then you have your survival mode, which I think is more unhealthy than rock bottom, because at rock bottom, you're in that place where you are going, I am not living this way anymore. That's where I got with relationships and heartbreak. I am not living this way anymore. But then you kind of you can get stuck in survival mode if you're not careful, and that's just the boring place. Nothing interesting happens in survival mode.
Right.
So it's getting the courage to go past that to the relationships you do want, or the careers, whatever it is that you do want. So I think rock bottom can be a massive empowering place if you just change your mindset. And also, then you very rarely want to go back to rock bottom. You set a new standard in life where you go, I'm not going back there.
Yeah.
So it can be massively empowering if you let it. Plus, I heard the word wine there, and that made me excited.
Yeah, but I perked right up on that one.
Wine? Where?
Wine's good.
Yeah, it is good.
Yeah,
It's
wine
very
and
good.
dine goes really well.
Glad we
yes.
all agree. Wine and food is very good.
Yeah.
And something that a lot of people will be thinking, and I think it's something that springs to mind when people hear any type of service, I suppose. Money is one of the first things that people think of. How much does it cost, and how much do people charge for this type of service? Are your prices affordable? Can people include this within their life, basically?
Definitely. If somebody can afford to go and buy £1,000 Prada handbag or any other brand names that I'm not very familiar with, because I'm not a branded person, but if you can afford to spend something that makes you feel good, knowing that you have to break your credit card. Because I can't imagine somebody that actually saved up £1,000 to say, you know what, I'm going to go and buy a brand new handbag, or a coat or whatever it is. And I realize over the years that when people start spending money to make themselves feel good, whether it's through shopping or eating or holidays, they do it to make themselves feel good. Spending money on personal development like coaching or mentoring or any kind of, anything that will help you to improve your life is last on people's agenda. Because they say, you know what, I have got a lot of other means to do temporary fixes. So people can afford my prices. Prices vary. If you went to Tony Robbins today and say, you know what...
We've spoke about this before, isn't it?
If you ask for a coaching session with him, you probably won't get a chance.
No.
You have to be of a certain criteria to even be there, right? But what is Tony Robbins offering that I can't offer? I can't offer you the fame, the glitter, the name, everything else. But I can offer you something that you can start using today, after this session, and see the difference within 3 months. How about that?
Yeah. And I think that then becomes addictive. In investing in yourself becomes then addictive. Like when people start to see the improvement, they see the value in the cost, and they feel good after it. Yeah. I then think the material things start to waver a little bit. When people look at something like Tony Robbins, I think, you have been, how much is it a day?
Tony Robbins, I think for the 4
pricey.
days, I can't remember, because I stayed nearby, because you don't finish till really late. So I stayed walking distance. I think all in all, it probably cost me about £2,000
Wow.
to go there
for 4 days
4
alone.
days.
Wow.
A lot
But
of money, isn't it?
I think the big difference is, and money is such a vast area. It's a whole different area of mindset.
Correct.
To love everything. It's totally different. What people are most scared of is change. Because what a lot of the times we're scared of is we know, and it's that survival mode. Although we're not necessarily happy where we are, we know how to deal with it. It's the norm. So that fear of that change brings up almost, if anyone's ever listened to the Chimp Paradox, it's a great book.
Yeah, I've got it.
It's the
Yeah.
chimp. It's
Yeah.
the chimp going, oh, hold on, this is scary. This is something new. We know how to handle here. So it's just really learning to trust yourself when it comes to money. Trusting your, we always go back to trusting your gut instinct. It's knowing what's right for you, what's not right for you. And money, to me, like you said, I'm always investing in myself. I plan on crewing at Tony Robbins this year. So I will still be paying for a hotel and working for Tony Robbins for free.
Yeah.
But
This Tony Robbins guy's got it sorted, hasn't he?
Magic, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, Tony Robbins is one of the. I mean, I like what he does, and it is he always has a big crowd attracted to him. And you know what? The thing is that we can't all be Tony Robbins, but we can have a mindset like him. All of us could. We don't have to show it, but we can live it for our own life, so we can live at peace and content within ourselves.
And I almost think, we've said this before, but I almost think with Tony Robbins is that people not enjoy the investment, but they almost feel that, you mentioned Prada handbag, and people will go and spend £1,000. People almost enjoy the fact that it's £1,000 spend because they feel like they're getting something better for it. And I feel that that's kind of the same with Tony Robbins. He whacks up that price just so people think, well, it must be good because it's crazy expensive.
And also, it's the atmosphere, it's everything you get. The reason I'm going back to Tony Robbins is also because it reminds me of new skill set. It allows me to grow more. But it's the atmosphere, it's being around people that bring, I'm saying so American and wishy.
Oh, we love a bit of wishy-washy.
Back on to be, anyone, they're
Love
thinking
it.
of drank wine in the car on the way here.
Oh, 8:42 and a glass of wine already. Well, David, thank you so much for coming in. Could you just quickly tell everybody how they can get in touch, social media?
Yeah,
How
sure.
can they follow you?
The way to get in touch with me is just type in davidandrewcoaching.com or speak to Siri or Google and they'll find you in. And click on to my discovery session, which is free of charge, 60 minutes. And with all my sessions, there is food.
Oh, he brought food.
Food, because
you didn't bring me food.
Meeting without eating is cheating. So all my sessions have food, my workshops has food, and I provide that because it's part of a way I do things. Maybe I'm the only coach in the world who does it. I don't know. One of my USP, I could say. Yeah,
exactly.
So, reach me on davidandrewcoaching.com. All the information is there. I'm on social media platforms.
Because sometimes as well, all the best conversations are had to be had over food, aren't they?
Absolutely.
Food and usually a glass of wine. We talked a lot about wine this morning, didn't we? So davidandrewscoaching.co.uk?
davidandrewcoaching.com.
Perfect. If you want to find any information about David, it is all on there. Thank you so much. You've been a fantastic guest, David, and you are more than welcome back to come and see us at Solihull Radio.
Thank you.
Wish I wasn't one of your exes. Now I'm the fool. Since you've been gone, been dancing on my own. These boys up in my zone, but they can't turn me on. 'Cause baby, you're the only one I'm coming for. I can't take no more, no more, no more. I wanna but I'm broken hearted. But I like to party. Touch, touch, touch. But I got nobody.
so low.
Solihull Radio, 8:47 Friday morning, getting you ready for the weekend, inspired and ready for the weekend this morning. Faye is in. Hello, Faye.
Good morning again.
Okay,
Definitely got my good morning voice.
Oh, she has. She loves the welcome and good morning and welcome. Just so you know, Faye, we are on air. I have managed to press the button.
Fabulous. It's always a good start.
Oh, everybody. We, if you don't know, we have started a brand new podcast, which I'm really excited about. It is called The Girls of Alchemy, and we will be explaining a little bit more about it on the podcast. But we came in on Monday evening raring to go, and it was myself, Faye, and Lisa raring to go to have a chat. We were really excited about it.
It was fabulous.
Oh, it was fabulous. We thought it all went really well, really happy about it. I then stopped the stream, so stopped it going out live, and then I went to download it, and the mystical fairies in the Solihull radio system had stopped it and chewed all the wires, and it didn't record.
No, it was a bad day. I went home.
That's an hour of your life you won't get back.
Oh, it was such a great podcast as well. I went home. Pete was like, "Oh, you look really happy. Did you go?" Not that I look really sad usually. Oh, you're here.
Oh, hey, Pete.
Great. Nice to see you again. And I was like, yeah, oh, no, it was fabulous. It just didn't record. He's like, are you joking? I was like, no, but it was a good practice run. It's okay.
Exactly. In other words, we spent an hour just sitting around the table having a chat.
Yeah, and there was heating.
Yes. But we happened to chat into microphones. That's the only difference. That was the difference. So if you guys want to join us for the brand new podcast, as I said, super excited about it. We are going to be recording it on Monday, this coming Monday as well. So make sure you join us between 7 and 8 p.m. And then, of course, as with anything, we will be recording it live, but then it will be going out on demand. One of the best ways, and we were just talking about it, you can obviously listen to it from the Solihull website or download something called Podbean. It is in the App Store. Download Podbean and you can listen to all of the Solihull radio podcasts, including The Girls of Alchemy as well. So as everybody knows, Faye is our relationship expert, and as usual, you've put it out to your social media crew, haven't you?
I have indeed.
Because it's such a great opportunity for them to ask you and for you to respond not only in message or on Facebook. I know you do a lot of Facebook Lives as well, but also on the radio in an easy way. So this is from Cara, who is 26 from Birmingham. Cara's put, hi Faye, how do you know if a boyfriend is really interested for the long run in your relationship? I've been dating my boyfriend for about 5 months now and I really like him, but I'm not sure he feels the same. 1 minute he seems really interested and great, and whenever we talk about the future, I'm never mentioned in it. Oh, okay. Is he just scared of commitment? Is he just scared of commitment, or is it me that he isn't interested in? Thank you, Cara. That's difficult because it's only 5 months in, so whether or not 5 months is okay for him to be thinking about the future, or is that a red flag? What do you think, Faye?
See, what really tickles me as well about coming on the show with you, Natalie, is that, Cara, I do feel your pain here, because obviously you sound like you're probably, if I'm being honest, a little bit more invested in him right now. See, 5 months can be really quick in a relationship, depending on where two people are at, or it can be really slow. It really depends on where the two people are at. My biggest piece of advice here is don't overthink it too much in regards to where he's at. Decide where you want to be in the relationship, because me personally, with what you've just said and the vibe I'm getting from the message, I personally would pull back a little bit. Give him a little bit of space. It's not about him, but it's about giving him some space, because if he's talking about his future and he's not mentioning, it's going to be one of two things. Either he isn't aware of how deep you are, which I don't think that will be, or he's not in the same place you are yet. That doesn't mean he never will be, but what it does mean is don't keep investing your time, your energy, and more so your emotions too much, because at the risk of getting hurt. Pull back a little bit and focus on what you want for your future, because that is the most attractive thing. Sometimes we can invest far too much in a relationship and we lose sight of what we want, because if he's talking about his future, what is it that you want for your future?
Yeah, why all of a sudden is her future just him?
Yeah.
Yeah,
it never should be, no matter how far you are in a relationship. It never ever should be. just all about them. The healthy relationship is where you have a good life together, not because of one or the other.
Yeah, because then when something goes wrong in the relationship or the relationship breaks down, that's why people go into meltdown, isn't it? Because it's all they ever knew and all they ever
They don't know any different.
Yeah, that is a difficult one, Cara, and that's also a good. I thought perhaps is he being a nice person in regards to that he doesn't know what he wants for the future yet. And so he's not mentioning it, or it's
and
unintentional?
that's the thing, we can read so much into things, and that's why I say don't go into freak out mode. Just pull back a little bit, because he might actually even feel a little bit suffocated, or he may not be the right guy for you. But by you pulling back, it allows him to either step up or step down. And yes, that's scary if you're really invested. But what's more scary, stepping back and letting him step up, or being 2 years down the line and ending up with heartbreak?
It's almost asking the question that perhaps you don't want to know the answer. That's the problem, isn't it? Okay, well, we've got a next one from Kate. Kate has put, me and my husband have recently separated in the last 3 months. It was more his decision than mine, but I understood he wasn't happy anymore. Since then, he keeps telling me that he misses me and wonders if he acted by leaving too quickly. He moved out, but comes round most nights, but doesn't stay. How do I make the first move to us trying again? And how can I not scare him, but show him that I still love him? That's from Kate. You're a very nice person, Kate.
Yes.
Oh, you are. I would be. I would Beyonce. You know, we've mentioned the Beyonce before. I'd get my inner Beyonce. I'd be challenging Queen Bee, basically. You're a very nice person, Kate. What does she do, Faye?
See, I'm with Natalie on this, Kate. It's really hard when you have a family as well, especially because you've got the emotional ties of children and all those things. However, you must remember that you're important too.
She doesn't specifically say that, though. She hasn't said, me and my husband. Yeah, no, she just said that they're married. So obviously,
good point.
Very committed.
Jumping ahead there.
Jumping ahead.
We've invested a lot of money in a wedding.
Yes, true. So planning kids there, if she is for you, Kate. Faye is.
Yeah, I can predict them in the future.
Yes, exactly. But
so it's about, I personally, and not just personally, my expert opinion on this is, again, what we tend to do as women is we forget that we're really important. I personally would lay my cards on the table. Whether he gets scared or not, he invested in marrying you. He invested in spending the rest of his life with you. So I would personally lay my cards on the table and be like, this is either we're getting back together or we're not. Because by someone moving out and coming round, they're not really investing you. They're using your time.
My devil brain has gone to something else as well. And it has... Is she something to consider? Is, are you 100% sure that you are the only person that he is seeing? Because
if he's not staying the night,
has he potentially split down the relationship so that he can explore other avenues for a little bit, seeing it's not all rosy, and seeing if he can?
This is why I say
back?
It's always about standards, and
the Beyonce devil brain is coming.
But it's true that it's your standards that you set. So for me, it's very much either step up or step down, because with that energy as well, you are giving a really strong message that I'm not here to be best around. My time is important, and that is powerful. No one wants someone they can walk all over, and this is the real harsh truth of it. No one wants someone they can walk over. They want someone who they know where their boundaries lie. So I'm very much with you. Either you're investing fully in me or you're not. And I think a healthy relationship does have times where you're like, can we make this work? Is this really workable? But it's when two people go, I want to try. There's your difference. When one is out, if you have to move out of a house, I have a big issue with that. That doesn't mean it's not salvageable. It means you need to put your boundaries in place for what makes you happy. Stop looking at what makes you happy together right now and look at your happiness first.
Yeah. And potentially look at the home situation as well, because if that's your marital home and he has moved out because it was his choice, he will feel quite relaxed about strolling through that door, because it's not your house. Well, it might be your house. I don't know that, but it's a house that perhaps you shared. So you would feel a little bit more comfortable than if Kate was in her own house or a new surroundings, perhaps.
And it's very much your standards and boundaries of what's right for you. For me personally, me as a person, I have very strong boundaries around infidelity and all those things. But I know other couples, that's made their relationship stronger. It's you understanding what's right for you as an individual. So to me, I would go straight to what you're thinking, Natalie, but that's my thought pattern. I would be like, why are you not staying there? Like, if you're missing me, surely you're missing that connection with me. But again, remember, we're not in your boat, we're not in your situation, we're not seeing what's going on for you. So the best thing you can do is decide how you want to move forward, lay the cards on the table and let go of the outcome.
Yeah, control it a little bit more. You pull back the control and don't allow him to come round when he wants, because he knows that you're in. It's your house. You decide if you want him round. You decide. He doesn't just stroll in,
and there's
have a cup of tea and sit down.
There's nothing more exciting than seeing someone living and loving their lives. Usually won't remember what first attracted you to each other, where we first attracted to somebody. It's because we see something in them that we're like, wow, I wish I was like that, or we've got similar interests, or they're going out and something we see in them we think will bring to our lives. Sitting there and moping, that doesn't bring anything to our lives.
No. Apparently as well, I've heard, correct me if I'm wrong, because
I will.
I most likely am, because I've read it somewhere and then I've sticked in my mind. But apparently you find people more attractive visually if they look, and this links to the next question actually, if they look slightly like you. Yeah. That's what I've heard.
I don't know how I feel about that.
That's honestly,
I'm going to have to go through pictures of me and Pete now. But I think if I see like
a
family resemblance, it's going to freak me out a little bit.
It's a thing. It's a thing. Well, that leads me on to our very last question. And we did have another question, and that was from Susan in Dublin. Susan, that question will be answered next week on the Friday show as well. So the very last question is from Josie in Cambridge, and she's put, "Hi Faye, I met a lovely man, and we've only been on a few dates, but he's so sweet and lovely. He ticks every box and he's so attentive. If it finished there, we'd all be happy, wouldn't it? But it doesn't.
We're buying our wedding hats.
Yeah, we're going to shop in Solihull and buying those. We're going off to John Lewis. The next one, but she's put, the only problem is I do not think I'm physically attracted to him. We have kissed, but I don't have that crazy attraction I had with people in the past. Do you think this will pass? And do you think this is a problem?"
Dun, dun, dun.
Again, that's my noises. It's hard.
A problem if it doesn't pass. That's what you've got to look at. Quite often, and I see this with women, if we haven't worked on ourselves and we've not really upped our love for ourselves, we can put problems in the way where there aren't any. So you must initially have saw something in him to go on the date.
Yes, to have even glanced at him or continued the messaging, or however you must have
you
got in
didn't
touch.
look and go, oh no, pull back. You didn't do that.
Retreat.
And yes, we can go into the love is only skin deep. The reality is, for a healthy relationship, you have to have that spark. But that spark might be something that you're putting in the way at the minute, because you can see all these amazing qualities. There essentially might be, to play devil's advocate, there might be a little part of you that doesn't feel that you are good enough for this guy, that if he's ticking all these amazing boxes. So I would say, ask yourself, is this really, I am not attracted to you? Because if you've kissed as well, he's not repulsed you.
Yes.
It's not made you go, ugh. So I would say, have a look at what this is really about. So no, it isn't a big, massive problem. I think this can happen quite a lot, because as well, when things seem so perfect, we can over-question them. So we find problems where there aren't any. So no, it's not an initial problem. If you still feel this going on, I'd say more if it begins to feel a lot more friendship.
Yeah. When the honeymoon bit, as it were, passes, are you still attracted to him?
Because friendship is a huge part of a relationship. You do need, in my opinion, you do need, for a healthy, long-lasting relationship, you need that spark, because it's part of what a healthy relationship is about.
And for the want of sounding very pessimistic, it's only ever going to get worse, isn't it? Like, as in, there's not very many people that essentially get more attractive. And even if they do, so pessimistic, I like. And even if they do get more attractive, being with somebody for a long time, you're not going to be like, dang, every time they walk in the room, are you?
It's so funny. I was watching a clip
Adam.
that come up on, love you.
Well, yeah.
I come up, it was one of the BBC comedian shows came up, and it was this woman talking about how now we're actually scared to look old. We all want to live longer.
Yes.
But by the time we've filled our face with different polyfiller stuff or whatever we do, we're actually going in the coffin looking like we died young.
It's so true.
That's so true. We're scared to look older.
Yeah.
And so it's remembering that, yeah, you are right, though. That's when I say beauty is only skin deep. And also...
Oh, I'm planning to look like Cher.
Yeah.
Have you seen Cher, like, recently?
You look better than Cher.
Oh, well, I'd hope so. She's 70.
Now she's put a lot of effort into where she's got there.
Yeah, she has.
You have nothing. You're just
well, don't you? Oh, David, he brings me chocolate. Adam, watch out. He brings me chocolates. He gives me life advice, and he's telling me, look great.
Adam, if you need some relationship coaching, we'll have a chat.
Yeah, we know one.
I'll counsel her afterwards. Don't worry.
If you need relationship coaching, we know one. So she's over there.
I like your hosting skills. I've been to your house. You won't leave.
I'm never leaving that house. So, well, Faye, the time has come to the end, and so has the breakfast show. Thank you so much for coming in. You will be in next week with us, won't you? She'll be back in on Friday.
I will.
And as I said, we will be answering that final question as well. So make sure you stay tuned for that. Thank you so much to David, Faye, and all my guests today on the breakfast show. We hope you've enjoyed it, and we will see you back here at 7 a.m. on Monday. Bye, guys.
I've been spending out the time, couple women by my side. I got sinning on my mind, sipping on red wine. I've been sitting here for ages, ripping out the pages. How'd I get so faded? How'd I get so faded? Oh, no, no, don't leave me lonely now. If you love me, how'd you never love? Could free my mind. This is how it ends. I feel the chemicals burn in my bloodstream, fading out again. I feel the chemicals burn in my bloodstream. So tell me when it kicks in. Tell me when it kicks in. I've been looking for a lover, thought I'd find her in a bottle. God, make me another one. I'll be feeling this tomorrow. Lord, forgive me for the things I've done. I was never meant to hurt no one. I saw scars upon a broken-hearted lover. Oh, no, no, don't leave me lonely now. If you love me, how'd you never learn? Ooh, color crimson in my eyes. One or two could free my mind. This is how it ends. I feel the chemicals burn in my kicks in. Tell me when it kicks out across the line. All the voices in my mind calling out across the line. All the voices in my mind calling out across the line. All the voices in my mind calling out across the line. All the voices in my mind calling out across the line. All the voices in my mind calling out across the line. Tell me when it kicks in. That's so scars upon it. Tell me when it kicks in. Broken heart. Tell me when it kicks in. That's so scars upon those scars upon her. Tell me when it kicks in. Broken hearted. So tell me when it kicks in. And I saw scars upon her. Tell me when it kicks in.